She's still laughing.
That's so funny. Welcome to 5 Lemons Left. We're the real stuff, the lemons making lemonade. So pucker up because we're going to be discussing our life's lessons and the nitty-gritty details of our spiritual journeys.
Hey y'all, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Drusilla.
I'm Melissa.
Hello, this is Morgan.
And I'm Penny. Welcome to our podcast today.
Happy New Year, everybody. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Today we're talking about what's to come in 2024, this new year.
Exciting.
Yes. Leaving behind like old resolutions, leaving behind what you're giving up, embracing what's new for you. What are your intentions for the new year? What are the new beginnings? That's a whole mouthful. It is.
Amanda, I have a good story of my weekend and dealing with all this, and it was really fun. We had a burn party in Denver at a friend's house, and we took all of we were to come with thoughts and ideas of anything we want to burn to get rid of 23, and we had like 2 or 3 hours before that with making vision boards with like
Fun.
15 women, and talking about our visions and talking about things. It was really great. It was really fun. I was like a little fried. My brain was just really fried from the day. So I didn't do the vision board, but I did know that I was just going to take my piece of paper and I wrote words on it and then just burnt it. And I could have summed it all up in one word, which was fear.
Oh,
Everything's fear or love, right? And so I did fear, but then I added more resentment and shame, unworthiness, all that kind of stuff, just to be really clear and just to reinforce that I am so ready to give all that up. And just make a declaration that I just don't need that anymore. It can go away. All that stuff can go away. But it was kind of interesting because my friends at the table I was at, everyone said, "Oh, my list is ditto to Melissa's." So we went out to the burn pile, and we all rubbed my paper with our hands, like putting all of our mojo on it, and then we burnt it, and it was really great. So but what I thought was interesting is of course we have similarities, the women that I was at the party with, but we also have so many differences, and I don't often get to talk to them really deeply. Like, you're at a dinner party or whatever, you don't just start talking about your fear. But every single woman at my table were like, ditto. That's it for me too. I have all those things I want to give up. And it was really revealing to me just that we all have it. We just all have it. And so it was a really great reminder. So my words, like my intentions for this coming year, getting rid of the courage or getting rid of the fear and everything. Mine is courage and clarity. Because I also think I stay in this like hazy, I don't know what to do thing. And that's part of fear as well. So courage, clarity, and contentment, because I really want to be very present with my family, the people I love, and just know that no matter what, like today, everything right here, right now is so great for me. Because I feel like part of the fear thing, my whole life, I've been living in like the future. Everything's going to be okay when I get here. And then when I get here, or when I live here, or, like it's all out there. And I really have an intention to just plant my feet. I'm going to move, but I'm going to plant my feet in like it's everything today is perfect for me, and to just be really present with the people in my life. So
Wow.
that's where
beautiful.
I'm going. Thank you.
It's amazing. Sounds like clarity to me, Melissa.
Yes. You know what is like, once I really thought of it, things have just been, moving in the right direction. And I don't know much about the human design. Morgan knows a lot about it, but I've been thinking, like, what am I? Am I a generator or manifester? These are things you can be in human design, because I always think, like, once I decide something, things shift for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Melissa, let me ask you this. So it's really interesting. You talk about like letting go of fear of the future past. That was a word that you burned, fear.
Yes.
And then embracing this clarity. And you kind of mentioned it in a sentence where you're talking about letting go of the fear helps to be more clear. Could you talk about that a little bit more? Do you know why, or the what, how, or anything like that?
Yes. I really think that I have used this, like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know how to do it. To be not necessarily a victim, yes, maybe a victim, but to be just, it's like a get out of having to do things card, or get out of taking responsibility for my own actions. And it has kept me playing small. That's what it
Yes.
kept me playing.
That's what I was thinking.
Were you?
Me too. Yep.
Yep.
And you are so grandiose. Like I see the grandness of you, but I do hear that coming from you in your voice sometimes.
Yes.
And I know you're such a magnificent person, but I can see that playing small.
Yes. And I think I can see everything I've done, Amanda, has brought me to this place. Like faith, building worthiness. Like I couldn't have just faked my way to like authentic believing in myself and having courage. Because I've lived in fear for so long. I've let myself really like be there in fear. So I've had to do all these things to get to this point. And that has been like other years making intentions to work on a certain area of my life. And it's building blocks to this part. And I really feel like I can authentically have courage.
Yeah. Melissa, do you remember any of the intentions that you set in years past?
Yeah, last year, my intention was to open myself up to a more universal, mystical kind of look at the universe, and less restricted by religious dogma. So, and that completely has happened for me. And the year before, I think, was to really dive into meditation to the point where it was something that I really wanted, that it was really serving me, and not serving me, just a part of my life, just a part of my day, like other things are. And before that, I can find all that kind of stuff, like what I did, but those are the most recent. And I have given myself a year to get there. And in the past, it would be like, okay, I've got this weekend to transform my spiritual beliefs. So, so I've given myself just let it roll. So, yeah.
Sounds like that was a really fun gathering with your friends, Melissa.
It was.
Wow. Like how many hours was it? Like 3 or 4 hours or something? Or
It was.
like,
I even left early because I had been literally working on my feet, moving furniture and stuff since at like 6 a.m. I left my house. And so the party was at like 6. So by the time I was there, I was so exhausted. And I was there for a few hours. So I think it even probably lasted another few hours.
Wow.
I just love that idea.
Yeah. Everyone was up for it. And everyone, like I said, we all have these different backgrounds, but we all had the same intention, which I think most of the world does. It's such a nice way to close something and open something.
I was just, I love that you said that because where did it go? Oh, here it is. I just turned over my calendar. I have one of those perpetual calendars, Ask and It Is Given to You by Abraham and Esther Hicks and Abraham. And for January 1st, it says, January 2nd, actually. Nope, that wasn't it either. Must be January 1st. Okay. That is not the calendar. It must be the other one.
Two calendars.
I have two. One is that one, and then the other one is The Power of Intention. It was this one from Dr. Wayne Dyer. Still miss that guy so much.
I do too.
Yeah. Anyway, he said the power of intention is the power of love and receptivity. It takes nothing. It asks nothing of anyone. It judges no one, and it encourages others to be free to be themselves. And then at our source, we are formless energy, and in the vibrating spiritual field of energy, intentions reside. So it sounds like that was all that was happening at this party, is where you guys were in that energetic bubble of releasing shit and welcoming in the new stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
I think I want to have a burn party by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just don't do it inside. Unless you have a fireplace. Let's all be safe, people.
Does anyone else have a word or an intention, or have they thought about what their year is about?
This year, thank you for asking, Melissa. I'll go. My word this year is discipline. And it really is scaring the bejesus out of me, right? Because like discipline, it was clear that I wanted to do this, and I don't know what it's going to look like. And so I am being very gentle with myself. And Melissa, I love that you said you're giving yourself a whole year. So I'm going to do that too, because I'm going to see what discipline, how that unfolds in my life. Because the standard, like I need to be healthy, like discipline exercise, discipline eating right, discipline so on and so forth, and blah, blah, blah. Like I don't want that type of discipline. I mean, I do and I don't. I know I'm not making any sense, but clearly, like, I don't know exactly what this means for me, other than spiritual discipline is very important to me. And as far as, like you said, meditation, like, I don't even want to pigeonhole it because like, I'm afraid of like, I think for me, it's like making a commitment and then not doing it is something that I want to not do anymore. Like that a couple of years ago, was one of my intention was honesty. So it's congruent in thought, word, and deed. So I don't want to commit to something and then not do it, because as we are learning in this spiritual community, that our words have power, like superpowers. And for me, the more that I clean up what I think and then what I say and then what I do, the clearer intuition that I get, the easier this path is. So I don't want to put too much. Yes, Melissa.
Amanda, I have a question.
Yeah.
So with discipline, how do you want to feel at the end of the year?
I want to feel peace, and I want to feel calm, and I want to feel connected.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, thank you for asking that, because that really helps to clarify, like, what am I looking to get out of discipline without labeling it as such. Yeah. So at the end of the year, if I feel connected, and it's connected not only to source energy, but through that source, it's connected to all beings. It's that connection, that unconditional love. That's, to me, that's what really changes the world. Yeah.
So maybe your discipline is about self-love.
Yeah, could be. Yeah. I could always use more self-love. Absolutely.
Well, actually, that's my word for the year. And I wouldn't, self-love. I wouldn't have thought that would be so, but I feel like at the beginning of the year of 2023, I was knocking it out of the park. And then somewhere along the way, last quarter of the year, I was just flailing, and I feel like if that is my goal, then it would help me in every other spiritual quality, and I think that's central to how I got lost somehow. And I miss the comfort and the peace in my spirit, and I need to get back to being grounded and centered. And I think focusing on self and self-love will get me there.
And Drusilla, do you have something that you see in a plan, or something that how you want to do things differently than before? Or like, because you said you wanted to feel peace and comfort, or two words you use. And then what are you thinking about?
Yeah, so just because this was kind of impromptu and I didn't plan on this discussion, I would just have to say, based on what I feel in this very moment, which is kind of a little bit of what Amanda just mentioned, and it's the congruency. I have always, for the most part, been a very honest and congruent person. People would always know what I'm thinking, where I'm coming from, because it's sincere. And I just feel like there's a little bit of incongruency going on with me. And I'm pretty sure it has more to do with, before I started working on the film, I did spend more time focused on my spiritual growth. And I mean, I literally spent most of my days focused on that. And then with working on the film and then the holidays, it just really got me off centered. Right. And I put a lot of focus on a lot of other things outside of my own spiritual well-being.
Yeah, that's so interesting, Drusilla, because we talked about a few episodes ago, or I don't know how many, we were talking about like the bank account, the spiritual bank account. And I think we were both talking about, we were going through some stuff in our lives and we were like taking money out of that bank account, and it really sustained us for a long time.
Yes.
And then, so what I'm hearing you say, if I get it wrong, that maybe your balance went a little bit low.
Yeah,
Yes.
like after that, I really should have gone full speed ahead of putting it back in, right?
Mhm.
And I just think it went straight into the holidays and yeah, without replenishing. And I feel so depleted in that way right
Mm.
now.
So, Drusilla, how is self-love helping you to fill up your spiritual bank account?
Well, self-love means taking time out for spiritual development, for doing the meditations, the walks, and just being kind and compassionate with myself.
Mhm.
And kind of probably I don't think discipline is a good word to use for me, but just being more committed to it, as I have been in the past.
Yeah, thank you, Drusilla.
Yeah, that's great.
Penny, Morgan, what about you guys?
Yeah, I just wanted to mention that there's something really fun that the Foundation for Inner Peace is doing this year, and they have they're sharing each lesson of the day from the Course in Miracles, and they have it to music. It is so cool. I just did lesson 2 today. It's a Course in Miracles world dance, and they are so it's a different A Course in Miracles students from across the world will be reading the lessons each day, and it's set to music, and you're to dance while it's going on, and it's so fun. It is so fun, and so I was just gonna suggest that I can. I'm sure if you go to well, I don't know for sure, but if you go to the Foundation for Inner Peace, and I think you can still sign up to get each lesson sent to your email every day. But it's just a fun, different thing. And it's totally filling up my bank account too. So we were just talking about that and how some of the ways, that you can replenish once you've kind of depleted. It's just different. I'm like getting a kick out of it.
I love that. Sounds so fun.
Yeah, and it's with James. James. I got to get my glasses on. Where are they? Anyway, it's James. Oh, I can't read it. I need my glasses. Twyman, Twyman.
Yes,
Twyman.
Mhm.
Yeah, I guess he's done all the lessons to music in the past, but now it's being offered for free through, I don't know if there's a charge for it otherwise, but it's for free through Foundation for Inner Peace. It's just really fun. So that was one of the things that I have years ago. I decided I wanted to be more playful and light. And so that was I have a phrase too that I'm still working on. It's like I am co-creating my life. And so or I'm co-creating with source. That's part of it, but that's not quite the wording. I was in a class today and it was just perfectly said. And I texted the woman who said it, and because I said, I want to steal this or use it too. And she hasn't gotten back to me. But it's like, I am responsible for what goes on. And when I am in that place of generating or the vibration of the higher vibration levels, like we've talked about vibration.
Yes.
That when I'm there, when I stay there this year, then I'm generating from that place, and it's just better. It's just a better life, more more peace and gratitude and love and all of it. So, and I want to do it with lightness and playfulness. And so I'm looking for things that are light and fun and playful, because I can be freaking serious. I can one of my source fracture stories that I found is that life is hard. I have that. I in the way that I was raised, I realize that I have made life pretty hard, so I am recognizing that that's a place where I can go to, like, shit, it's just too hard. I give up. And then you start playing small, or I
Right.
start playing small. I start thinking I can't do something, or I don't have enough knowledge or enough training. And so then
And you
have
start
to realize
collecting the
that
data that reinforces that belief.
Yes.
Did you
Oh my
say
gosh.
did you say source fracture? What did you say?
Story. Source fracture story.
Story. Can you say more
Yeah.
about that term?
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
that.
Yeah. So I am a calling in the one coach, and I'm training to be a conscious uncoupling coach right now with Catherine Woodward Thomas. And the thing that has just drawn me to her work is that the whole premise is that you do this process with your coach, or you can read the book and do it too. And you get back to where the source of the fracture and so you think about, when do you find yourself like stopping? Like Amanda, you were saying that or Melissa, you were talking about how you play small and you stop yourself from doing things because you whatever. So you just try to figure out what age that part of you is and what happened at that time. And for me, one of my I think probably life became hard when I was 5 and I broke my leg and I had to be in the hospital for 30 days in traction as a 5-year-old with old people as my roommates who were not very nice to a 5-year-old who wanted to watch TV. I mean, can you imagine? I just think about that little girl.
Mm.
So anyway, life became hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I know that's not true today. And so I just have to remind myself that was a long time ago, like 57 years ago, and 58 years ago, and I'm not there anymore. And I have a lot of skills and capacities now. And so I can interrupt that story when I get into it and remember that life can be hard, but it can be easy too. And it can be fun. And and if I choose, it's my choice, really. I can stay in that little 5-year-old and go life, or I can generate it and get back to my adult self. And I can say, hey, Penny, look at all this amazing stuff you're up to and go for it, girl, because you're being called to do it. Yeah. So light, playful, and that I am responsible, accountable, responsible to create whatever it is I want to create. Let's create from those higher vibrational levels.
Right.
Just not sure what that.
A full cup, not a begging cup.
Yes. I love that, Melissa. Yeah. Yeah.
I love that too.
And Penny, you said, or you could read the book. What book are you talking about?
Well, there's a Calling in the One book by Catherine Woodward Thomas and Conscious Uncoupling.
Okay.
Well, she's written books on both of those items, and she's also trained coaches to coach people through both of those processes. And I'm in the middle of, I'm just starting my practicum for the conscious uncoupling. And so it's really exciting to help people because life doesn't have to be hard and bitter and filled with resentments. It can be, sometimes things just come into our life for a time and then they're done. Mm-hmm. And we can leave those situations with love and kindness. We don't have to do it with bitterness and anger and hate. And so that's one of my callings, is to help people to, if they're going to uncouple, to do it in a beautiful way versus as beautiful as it can be. Of course, there's a lot of shit that comes along with that too. But to work through it versus stuffing it down or holding resentments and anger for the rest of your life.
Yeah. Carrying it to the next relationship because it wasn't sorted.
Yeah, exactly.
Penny, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It is.
You
Yeah,
did
it's a little
smart.
scary too. It's a little scary too. Because there's some people that have a lot of trauma around uncoupling.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
I can
Yeah.
imagine.
But I mean, the state of our world right now, we need leaders of love and light. And that's what I see us as too, right here in this podcast, is we are the leaders of love and light. And we are being called to spread that to the world. And so let's do it.
I think you just wrote your own Penny's Post-it for today.
Yeah.
Not to
I better write
spoil
that one
anything.
down. Yeah, Catherine Woodward Thomas talks about the leaders of love and light. And so I'm, taking it from her. But we are leaders of love even before I knew Catherine Woodward Thomas. And so, yeah, it's important for us to step into that right now in 2024.
Yes, absolutely.
With a roar.
With a roar.
2024.
When you were saying that, because like you obviously, my using the word discipline isn't super comfortable, but I would be more comfortable saying discipline in love and light, right? Like if I was going to claim a discipline, that one I could do.
Yeah.
I love that, Amanda.
Yeah. Letting go of the dogma of eating right and exercising. Of course, I want a healthy body. And of course, I want to be able to do whatever I want to do without losing my breath and all of that. And discipline and love and light would, for me, like those things would come along with it.
You are ignited, right? That is igniting you. I love it.
Yeah, such a beautiful thing about community is having these spiritual conversations, and also the people that are listening to this podcast, that creating a spiritual community where you can have conversations like this.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're so lucky.
We are.
We are so very lucky.
Yes.
So how about you, Miss Morgan or Drusilla? Oh no, Drusilla, you already went, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Self-love.
That's right. Self-love. Thank you. Gosh.
Well, I'm glad I got to go last because I hadn't really contemplated my word of the year yet. And it's been really enriching to listen to all of you share about your words of the year. And it was also interesting hearing you, Melissa, reflect back on your word from 2023 and 2022. And when you were doing that, I started reflecting back on my word with a lot of self-judgment, because my word for 2023 was self-discipline. And A Course in Miracles says the ego speaks loudest and first. And of course, that's exactly what happened. The ego served up all these thoughts of, what happened with my word of the year? How did I do? And it was like all these examples of failure came into my mind. But
how old were you then, Morgan? How old was that part of you when you started thinking about all your failures?
I don't know.
Just think about it. You don't have to do it right now, but just think about that. Because usually that's where you went back to, where you started to judge yourself. And it was probably because of something that occurred in your life.
Yeah. Interesting. I will have to contemplate that a little deeper.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, but thank you for the question. I appreciate it. But then as I gave it a little bit more thought, Spirit, the quieter voice, gave me some examples of how it had worked in my life. So one thing that came out of it is I had, a punch list of some things that I would like to do consistently, and sort of like Amanda, you were rattling off, I would like to eat healthier. I would like to, I had my list. And at some point in the year, and I think I've even shared this here on this podcast before, I softened it to, I included it on my weekly calendar under the daily habit tracker, and I softened it to a goal of 3 check marks per week. I'm not aiming to check all 7 boxes on my habit tracker for these 7 different things every single day. I'm like, the goal is 3, and I'm elated if I hit my 3. And if some weeks I just hit 2 or something, I'm just so much softer about it. But they're still on my radar as something that is a priority to me and something that is important to me and that I value. And some of them are related to the physical body. Some of them are related to relationships. Some of them are related to my spiritual practice. And some of them are related to like building a business and so anyway, that was one way that it showed up. And when the word discipline came to me last year, the real goal that I had in mind was to really be practicing these principles day in and day out, and especially with my husband, because he's the person I see day in and day out. And our relationships are our best opportunities to practice this work. And so just have that disciplined mind of choosing love in every moment, not just knowing about, I should be choosing love, but actually making that choice. That was kind of like where my head was around the word discipline, like being disciplined to choose the loving choice in those moments. And I don't know. I don't know that I like feel like I started out here and I ended up way up here. Maybe more of like a slow, steady, like a wheelchair ramp kind of an incline, it can't be too steep. It'll be too hard to get up. Yeah.
That was a good one. Yeah.
That is good. Although that's not my observation of you, not that you're asking, but I can see your trajectory over last year really soaring high, not wheelchair ramp.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes.
Well, that leads me to also think about, it's really important to sit down and, have questions to ask yourself this time of year where we really self-reflect and be honest with ourselves about, okay, how was it on January 1st, 2023, and how is it now on January 1st, 2024? Like, what are the changes? What are the things? And if we can be in our more loving, kind leaders of love space, we might find some things that we aren't really even aware of. And so that's a good thing to do this time of year is to, and I have a coach that's asked me to do that for myself, and I haven't done it yet. I haven't sat down.
Penny, I heard you saying that, and I'm thinking on the one hand, I know how much value there is in that practice, and I would like to do that. And on the other hand, I don't want to put another thing on my to-do list. And like having these, this is another reason why spiritual community is so important, because we have the privilege of being together right now and having this conversation as a group and kind of working it through. But am I going to go carve out an hour of my time, 30 minutes of my time, even to do this reflecting on 2023? I probably won't. I've got so much going on right now. And it's even like your burning ceremony, Melissa. Would you have done that on your own?
Yeah, probably not. I would have just.
Yeah. But didn't you get so much benefit out of it?
I did. It was great.
Yeah. So it's just so helpful to have a spiritual team.
Well, and here's another idea too that I started last year, and I haven't even looked inside my jar. I wish I would have brought it with me. I'm at my office, not at home. But I had a jar, and did you do it?
I did, but I only got.
I only have like 7 or 8 things in it.
Yeah.
What's in
I haven't looked at it. I haven't looked at it yet, though.
What's
in your jar?
Oh, they're all, they're gratitude Post-its.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
but they're little pieces of paper, so they did get really flat. Let's see. 2/2/23. I'm the luckiest girl in the world.
Oh my gosh, that's awesome.
I'll look through these.
So what I was talking about is that, that you could have been the luckiest girl in the world, but what made you think that? Because the things I put in my jar were like things that I felt like getting certified. I know these are all physical things, physical world things, but getting certified as a calling in the one coach, I wasn't sure I was going to. I mean, I failed the exam. You guys all heard about it. And I had to retake it. And so that was one of the things I put in my jar. And so it was like a gratitude jar of things that I was really proud of, I guess. I don't know. Pride is another problem word, but just things that I was really grateful for that I had the discipline to complete. Maybe that's the word.
You had the self-love to complete.
Yeah. Boy, we could go on for this conversation forever and ever. I can hear that. Yeah, we might have to continue it in our next episode.
Well, and so back to Morgan really quickly. You are offering in 2024 on your Instagram, tell everybody what you're offering every day.
Oh, yeah. So, my goal this year, my intention this year is to read through the text of A Course in Miracles in a year and to redo the workbook lessons again. And I couldn't find a daily reading plan for the text for the Foundation for Inner Peace version. So I created one, and it's just a PDF that I created. If anybody would like it, they can reach out to me and I'll be happy to send it to them. And my Instagram is Love Light Morgan. And also once a week, we've got a group right now. We're at about 7 or 8 of us are going to meet once a week to do a little study group gathering and just talk through whatever insights we're having as we're reading, whatever challenges that we're having as we're reading, and then also how we're practicing what we're reading. And I am maintaining that pace as my intention, but anyone is welcome to join, even if that's not their pace. You would just share whatever from wherever you are, if that makes sense. I don't know if I explained that very clearly.
Perfectly clear.
And this is just one of your many commitments.
Yes.
And programs and offerings that you're involved with. And I just want to say how much self-discipline it takes to get yourself into those kind of places with those kind of commitments.
Yeah, you're so awesome for cheering me for that. And that's such a good point out, because sometimes I will start a commitment, Amanda, and then not finish it. Going back to your thing about honesty and integrity. Like we had a 40-day challenge with our Kundalini yoga teacher training to do a Kriya for 40 days straight. And I traveled for the holidays and got sick for 5 of the 10 days that we were traveling. And there's a lot of breathing through the nostrils when you're doing Kundalini yoga. And I was super congested and feverish, and I just didn't do it for 5 days. And I didn't even beat myself up about it. And then Spirit reminded me of those examples like you just gave, Melissa. I mean, I have been co-facilitating a small group for like 4 years, every week for 4 years. And yes, I might miss a week here and there, but I am consistent, and I am.
You are.
Yeah. So that there is the discipline shows up, and I can let myself off the hook for times when it doesn't go like I thought it would.
Yes.
And we have to give ourselves some grace, people.
Yeah.
We are human beings on this, spiritual beings on this human journey, and human beings are not perfect. I mean, I'm saying that only because I only learned that about 4 years ago, that human beings are not perfect. I thought I had to be perfect. And if I wasn't perfect, I kept holding myself up to that perfection, and it was killing me. It'll kill me. So, just give each other some grace. We're doing our best.
Yes.
That sounds like a perfect way to end this podcast with grace.
Yeah,
Yes.
I love it, Amanda. Yeah, so I do have a couple post-its.
Yay.
And the first one is burn, baby, burn. Release 2023. Burn, baby, burn. And then, of course, 2024, we are leaders of love and light. Yeah, that's what we are. And I just, embrace the feelings too of how you want 2024 to end. Just do it right now. Even write yourself a letter how you're going to be at the end of 2024 in one of the organizations that we're all part of. That's one of the things that you do is you write a letter to yourself on how the year was. And it's a perfect opportunity to do that work right now. So thank you everyone for being part of our podcast today. We really appreciate you listening in. And if any of this resonates with you, we hope that you take it on and create the love that you love, the life that you love in 2024. And you can find us. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everybody should, fireworks should explode. Yeah. Yeah. Roar into 2024. Yeah. And you can find us on Instagram and Facebook, right? Are we on Facebook? Yeah.
We're on Facebook.
We are. Uh-huh.
YouTube,
Awesome.
YouTube.
YouTube,
on our website. It's all
Yes,
there.
5 Lemons Laughing. 5 spelled out, Five, Lemons Laughing. We would love for you to reach out to us, give us some feedback or give us a cheer. We love any feedback that you have for us. So with that, we are kicking off 2024 and we just really love and appreciate you all. And we'll see you in the coming weeks. Ooh, good job, Morgan. She just
Bye,
spread a
y'all.
bunch of hearts.
Bye.
Bye.